what's going on? This is Andy Irvine coming to you again from my Daily Funk Club headquarters. And today is another exciting day. It's a real busy time here at the Daily Funk Club because a lot of instruments from the builders that I'm affiliated with are finishing them up and sending them to me. So it seems like every day a new bass is arriving here. And that's because a lot of these guys started building these instruments 6 months ago, and now they're all coming to fruition. But the one I have today just arrived from my friend Ron Stone from DNA Custom Guitars. And my affiliation with DNA started way back when I first began the Daily Funk Club. They were one of the first sponsoring brands. And you might remember Ron built a beautiful blue DNA bass that I did some demos with. Well, after I had it for a month or so, I kind of came to the conclusion that because the body was smaller and it was so light that it just didn't work that well for me personally. And I said, Ron, it's a shame because I don't play this bass that much. There's nothing wrong with the bass, but it just doesn't fit me that well. And he goes, well, let's make you one that does fit you. What would it be? So we put our heads together, and this is the result. This is I told him that I wanted kind of a lightweight, full-bodied kind of J-type, size body. And so we went this route. I had a set of cool Seymour Duncan pickups that Seymour Duncan himself hand-wound that were actually in a bass that I got during my Warwick days that was built for Adam Clayton for U2. So these pickups originally were meant for Adam Clayton from U2, and I ended up with them. So I had these pickups and I wanted to use them in something. So my idea was to make a completely passive instrument, very simple, but also very elegant and very soulful. So that's what we did. It's a swamp ash body and this beautiful brown stain with just like a satin wax paste finish. Has a hip shot bridge on it, simple controls, volume, tone. The neck is maple, and it has this gorgeous, highly figured bird's eye fingerboard. It has hip shot tuners on it. If you want to look at the back, absolutely gorgeous with a wooden access cover, string through for stringing it up, which adds a lot of sustain. It's got this great mounting system that he does with the recessed bolts and this really nice contoured neck heel. And maybe you can see this. He put a nice inscription on there that says handcrafted for Andy Irvine by Ron Stone. So the instrument came out great. In fact, it's absolutely perfect. It was exactly what I had hoped for and more. And I love that when we can surpass expectations. The guys that I work with, these builders that I work with, are some really, really talented people. So let's hear what it sounds like. This is with both pickups all the way up and the tone all the way up. And incidentally, I'm playing through the GK Fusion MB800 and the two CX series cabs that I just got, and they are very cool. It's got a legit tube preamp, and the amplifier is set completely flat. And again, this is a completely passive instrument. Super responsive and growly. The maple fingerboard is bright, and it has that kind of wide dynamic range that I love so much, because sometimes I'm playing really soft. got this beautiful, soft, sweet brushstroke kind of voice when I play it light. But also, so if you're a tone freak or a tone geek, you gotta love the way that this bass sounds because it's so natural. Okay, so now we're gonna go to just the back pickup. So it's got an incredible back, you know, the pickup. The other thing that we did is we mounted the pickup really close to the bridge, and that just accentuates that super mid-range bitey kind of tone that I love so much to incorporate into my playing. Okay, so now we've got it just to the front pickup. Show you real quick. I'm going to make the changes quicker. I'm going to talk less. Okay, so this is both pickups. Just the back. Just the front. Both. Just the back again. And both. Just the front. So every single position sounds wonderful. And the thing about that I like about having two volume controls as opposed to a blend is that there's 1,000 sounds in between. Like, for example, taking the front pickup, listen. Hear that change? It goes in focus. It instantly gets in focus when you pull it out of that scooped out, both pickups on all the time place. So just by rolling the back pickup, the front pickup, slightly back, you get this. So there's a few of the little, little awesome capabilities, tonal capabilities that this instrument has. And, more and more these days, I've always been kind of a flat, kind of where it's at player. I don't do too much EQing on the amplifiers that I use. All these amplifiers, and everything. You know, when I go out on a gig, I pretty much set them all flat. And most of the sound, most of the way that I approach playing is with a lot of dynamic range and with a lot of different right-hand techniques to accomplish the type of tone that I want. Meaning sometimes I'm using the palm mute. If I want more bass, I just palm mute. If I want more bite and growl and snarl, I dig in. If I want a lot of harmonics, you know, I might roll the pickup back a little bit to the back to the bridge. But, you know, I'm usually not playing a bunch of, you know, solo bass harmonics on the gig. I'm usually playing bass lines. Sometimes I'll use a double thumbing. So, yeah, right on, Ron Stone. DNA Custom Guitars. What a wonderful instrument. I'm so blessed and happy to have this thing. I encourage you to check out DNA Custom Guitars, and if you want one of these basses, he will build one for you. Of course, you're going to have to be patient because he's a one-man show, and you'll have to place your order, and you'll have to be patient, and you'll have to wait for him to build it. But he builds them all completely by hand, and you end up with a unique, one-of-a-kind, very special instrument. So I encourage you to check out Ron and check out DNA Custom Guitars. Thanks.